On today's Primetime local news, with the price of gas rising, how high will it get heading into the long weekend? And with their season fast approaching, the Lloydminster Bobcats meet some of their fans. Plus, we meet a pet up for adoption at Border Paws Animal Shelter.
Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening, I'm Jace Mackey. Thank you for joining us here on Primetime Local News. We'll begin with another heartbreaking discovery at a former residential school. The English River First Nation says 93 potentially unmarked graves have been found at the former Beauval Indian Residential School in Saskatchewan. Now, that's 10 more potential graves than initially announced earlier this month, and officials say there could be more.
Let me be clear that this is not a finality. This is not a final number. It breaks my heart that there are likely more, or even that there's even one. The experience of residential school is horrific.
And of those 93 graves found at the former residential school, 79 are believed to be children and 14 are believed to be infants. And with the last long weekend of the summer approaching, the costs of heading out on the road for a trip or just heading to work keeps going up. Gas prices have been rising steadily all year, with some cities now hitting a high point. The strain is being felt most on either end of the country. The Atlantic provinces are averaging $1.83 a litre or more, while BC is at $1.94 on average, and drivers are not too thrilled.
It is what it is. I've been watching the news. I see the prices are going up, and got to get to work.
I drive like 110 kilometers a day round trip to get to and from work, and you know, it adds up.
Right now, the national average is around $1.68.6 a litre. On January 1st, it was around $1.47.9 a litre, a difference of over 20 cents. A number of factors are affecting gas prices in Canada, including supply, taxes, and a low Canadian dollar. There is some relief on the way, though, as prices at the pump are expected to drop by as much as 5 cents a litre as early as tomorrow. And here in Alberta, one analyst says we could actually see our prices go down right before the long weekend. CTV's David Awasik explains why.
Historically, gasoline prices usually fall as autumn approaches, but so far, 2023 has not been a year that follows normal petroleum industry trends.
Markets can't decide whether one day prices should be up or down, and it really has a lot to do with the fact that real players in the markets, those who are taking financial positions, money managers, those types, really don't spend a lot of attention worrying about supply and demand. Their bigger concern or their focus is on international headlines.
One recent headlining event that could affect our pricing is how well American production facilities have so far weathered the southern U.S. hurricane and tropical storm season. Coupled with lower demand for gas in those regions, it could see us benefit at the pumps just before the long weekend, says industry analyst Dan McTague.
You know, the idea that prices go up before a long weekend probably doesn't apply this Labor Day weekend. That wholesale price at $1.34, $1.36 will drop 4 cents a litre by Wednesday.
A potential 4-cent savings at the pump is welcome news.
Very, very beneficial. It'll be very beneficial, especially because I'm going down Calgary probably this weekend.
I mean, 4 cents a litre is better than nothing because gas has been so expensive.
Now that I've got this information, I might wait and see, and then Sunday put some more in for sure.
Wait and see is probably your best bet. It will be up to gas stations as to whether or not they pass on the 4% wholesale price reduction to consumers. David Awasik, CTV News, Edmonton.
And now it's time for us to take a look at weather. Shelby Clark is here. I know weather's feeling a lot like it's a long weekend, you know?
It's perfect. It's perfect, just in time. We were having, that gloomy week that we never want to talk about in August.
We'll forget about it.
And now we have some scorchers, and today is probably the warmest day that we have been seeing
it was very hot
for
today.
This week, and it's still continuing on. We should be seeing these temperatures kind of continue on through the week, probably slightly cooler, not quite hitting that 30-degree mark as much as we are looking at today.
It's okay, we'll allow that, right?
Right, yeah. I think we'll have some nice temperatures for the long weekend, so hopefully everybody has some good plans for the long weekend. I know I do. I'll be heading out to my lake with my family. And speaking of gas prices, yeah, it's not fun when you got to drive that far. It's not too fun. But yeah, right now here in the border city, we are just sitting at 31 for our Tuesday. So a scorcher indeed. We do have that heat warning in effect right now. So hopefully everybody's enjoying their day. It is very hot out there, so please make sure you are drinking lots of water, using that sunscreen if you have any outdoor activities. But I wouldn't suggest, doing too much outdoor activities for a long period of time because, that heat can catch up to you. So make sure you can go inside to some AC or, find some shade when need be, because safety is a top priority. Switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan, most spots on our Alberta side are also looking at some scorchers past that 30-degree mark. So we are seeing quite a switch up from what we were looking on last week. Some spots are just sitting at 29, like St. Paul and Cold Lake, and then we start to move past that 30-degree mark. Looking at 30 up in Bonnyville, we are looking at 28 in Lac La Biche, so they are seeing the coolest temperature, and the rest are just sitting between 31 to 33 degrees. So very hot on our Alberta side. Hopefully everybody is enjoying it because this is still some nice temperatures for the summer as we end things off. Going over to our Saskatchewan side, they are kind of matching with us with those temperatures. On our Alberta side, most spots are just sitting just past that 30-degree mark as well. We're looking at 28 up in Isle La Crosse, so they are seeing the coolest temperature there. 29 in both Green Lake and Meadow Lake, and then we start to warm up. 30 degrees in Pearson, while it's 31 in St. Walburg. And the warmest conditions is down in these areas here. Maidstone and Macklin at 32 and 33, and North Battleford has a crazy temperature right now at 34. So they are seeing the warmest condition across the region. North Battleford will be cooling down to low of 50 and for their evening low temperature, so they will be looking at a warm night tonight, seeing those double digits. Aren't expecting a high chance of precipitation, more of a clear and calm night. Then for their Wednesday, another beautiful day, daytime high of 29 degrees, so almost hitting that 30-degree mark. They won't be seeing mid-30s like they are kind of seeing today, and they will be expecting a day filled of a mixture of some sun and clouds. So a scorcher for tomorrow is expected for North Battleford. Cold Lake tonight will be going down to a low of 14, so they will be looking at those double digits as well, seeing a nice evening. They will be expecting mainly clear and mild evenings, so they won't be seeing a high chance of rainfall. It's going to be more calm. And then for their Wednesday, they'll be looking at a daytime high of 24, so they will be cooling right down from what they saw today, and they are expecting a morning shower. So that will be nice. It's a nice balance to kind of have a little bit of precipitation there, mixture in with some scorchers. So should be a beautiful day expected for Cold Lake tomorrow. For us here in the border city, we will be going down to a low of 15, so we also will be expecting those double digits tonight. Nice evening tonight. Very warm and mild. We won't be seeing a high chance of rainfall. And then for our day tomorrow, for Wednesday, midweek, we will be looking at a daytime high of 27, so another beautiful day. We won't be seeing as hot as today, but that's okay. I think we all really like those mid-20s as well, and we are expecting a day filled of mixture of some sun and clouds, so should be beautiful tomorrow. And looking past that for our next few days, we will be looking at 27 tomorrow, and then cooling down again for Thursday and Friday as we kind of head off into the long weekend. Looking at 24 Thursday and 23 Friday, and we will hopefully have a little bit of precipitation there, straight afternoon shower on Thursday, so just be prepared for that. That's all I have for now. For a first look at your weather forecast.
And the Lloydminster Bobcats will be hitting the ice soon, but before their season starts, they met the community. That's next.
Today's oil prices are brought to you by First General Services.
Moving to sports now, the Lloydminster Bobcats hosted their meet and greet barbecue last night. Our Thomas Wildman has a look at how things went.
Just outside the Civic Center, where in just a few weeks' time, the Bobcats will be on the ice for their home opener. Fans and season ticket holders got their tickets, a burger, and some time with players and coaches, which for brand new head coach Brad Riella, that community aspect is incredibly important for the Bobcats.
Just community and the importance to, both our organization and you know, just understanding how important everybody is, our fans, our season ticket holders, our volunteers, our billets. I mean, it's we were just talking about it, like it's unbelievable all the people that go into making our team run, and it's you know, the hockey side of it's just a really small component, and you know, I think it's obviously important for us as a staff and our players as players to understand the importance of that and to be active in the community and let people know how much we appreciate it.
While this was a smaller event, the Bobcats plan to continue to have great community events again this season.
Everything that's happening. We got Evening of Champions coming up September 7th, another one in the fall, our Ladies Night February 10th this year, and then we're already back to Flavor Fest next May. So lots of community things going on, and that's a big part of it. Just wrapped up 2 great weeks of hockey school, you know, and it's awesome to see. We had the tools for school, the pick up there, drop off, and we got a big donation going to both the public and Catholic school system next week that we're excited about, and we're also excited for our players to get out and work the crosswalks next Tuesday and welcome all the students back to school too as well.
With the first preseason game quickly approaching, the players are excited for the fans to cheer them on home ice once again.
Yeah, it definitely helps, right? When the crowd's buzzing, all the Bobcats are too, so it definitely helps us out.
The Bobcats' home opener will be September 15th against the Calgary Canucks. Thomas Wildman, Primetime, local news.
And as we head to break, it's time for us to take a look at some of your pet photo submissions. Remember, if you want to see your pets on the show, you can send them to pets@stingray.com.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
It's another Tuesday, which means I'm back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for another edition of Pet Project, and we have another returnee to Pet Project. He's been here for so long. It's Woodstock. He is still the most loveliest cat that I've ever met in my life. So calm, so chill. Just tell us a little bit more about who Woodstock is, how he came here, and how long he's been here.
So today is Woodstock's 269th day with us, which is kind of sad, but he's such a sweet boy. He's pretty comfortable here. He's been lounging all morning in the cat cuddle room. But yeah, he is just the sweetest boy, as you can see, just a cuddler, loves attention. He was adopted out once and then brought back, and the lady just kind of said she wasn't ready for another pet. But he is such a sweetheart, good with dogs, seems to be good with cats. He gets along with everybody in here. He is a bit more playful, so even if someone had another cat that would actually play, he'd probably get along with them well. But as you can see, he's pretty laid back and just likes his cuddles and likes to lounge. So he'd be a great addition to pretty much any home. Good with kids too, as long as they're going to be gentle with them and give them lots of cuddles, but also space. And yeah, he's a really sweet boy.
Yes, he is, and he honestly continues to be. He was sleeping on the monkey pretty much every time I see him when we come here. He's always asleep on the monkey, and you know, ever since we've showed him a few times on Pet Project, and he's always just been the sweetest. So it's really shocking that he's still here, but like you said, he's great with all kinds of families. So there's definitely going to be someone out there who will fall in love with him for sure.
Yeah.
How does he do here? Like how in this cat room with all the other cats, you know, being here for so long and kind of seeing more cats come in and out, how does he do with new additions that do come in?
Honestly, he seems really good. Like he's not one of the ones that stands out to me as like wants to fight and hiss at everyone. He kind of just hangs out and does his own thing and is happy to get pets. And yeah, like you said, half the time he's sleeping on the monkey stuffy we have in here and just hanging out. And as you can see, he's very like cozy and cuddled.
He's slowly falling asleep in your arms, which just goes to show how cuddly he is. And you know, he's very chill and tranquil.
Yeah,
I think
he's
those
a
are
really
the best
nice cat.
words to describe him. Now, very exciting about the building. In your back space, we had been, that was a part of the building that hadn't been quite finished when you moved in here. It's the outdoor space for the dogs, but that has since been completed. Tell me a little bit about the progress and where we are today.
Yeah, so we're very excited because we didn't really have a play space. So at the old location, we had that green area and pens outdoors. So now we finally actually have a concrete pad poured by Tam and Jay's, and they set up all of our dog kennels. So our kennels are out in the back in like an L shape, and then we're going to be starting construction on a play area that will be big pens for us to actually like run the dogs and play fetch with them and have some more space to run and have fun out there. So it's really exciting to see it finally starting and coming together. And it's taken a big weight off the staff's shoulders just to be able to take the dogs outside, let them be somewhere safe, and hang out in the sun while they're cleaning their pens. So it's been amazing. It happened kind of quickly. So it was really nice. Once the kennels were set up, we were so excited to see them back there.
Well, that's very exciting, and it's going to be great. You know, there's still a few more weeks left of the nice weather. Fingers crossed it lasts a little bit longer. So that'll be great for them. And even if it gets a little bit cooler out, that's also nice for them because then they're not overheating, and they have a large space to just roam around, which I think will make them happier.
Yeah,
in the end.
we even had a couple of them falling asleep in the sun the other day, so it was so nice to see them just hanging out outside.
And I know that we talked about this yesterday, it was on, but your back to school raffle, let's
Yes.
just quickly mention it again, just so people know that the tickets are still available until Thursday. So how can they get tickets and, you know, kind of the price of them?
Yeah, so it's only $5 or 3 for $10 on our website. You just go to the main page. And there are tickets that you can buy online. Our draw is on Thursday, and if you win, it's a whole lot of stuff. So there's like a backpack, a binder, there's all these school supplies like markers, crayons, pencils, some stuff for your lunch kit. But it's a really nice package, and it's worth over $200. And I mean, to win that for only $5 or $10 is pretty awesome. And it goes to a great cause.
Yes, and the prizes are incredible and very, you know, the Under Armour backpack, I think, is a great brand name, especially for backpacks, very reliable. So definitely we'll get years of use out of it for whoever does win. So that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully this is the final time we see Woodstock, and hopefully whoever sees this and falls in love with him. And I know that he will make a great addition to any household.
Yeah, and anyone that wants to see him, just come on down when we're open, because he's hanging out in the cat room, and you can just come sit and lounge with all the cats in here and see how sweet he is in person.
Well, the numbers are out, and July saw the highest number of speeding tickets issued this year. Tyler McMurtry joins us now from SGI to talk us through the numbers. So Tyler, over 5,000 speeding tickets were issued in July in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, and that the number of speeders that we saw in July represents actually the highest number reported in a single month so far this year. It's not the highest ever. It's not the highest we've ever seen. I mean, there are months in the history of the traffic safety spotlight where we've seen in excess of 7,000 speeders caught by police in a single month. But still, when you think about the idea that there were more than 5,300, nearly 5,400 speeders caught, in a single month, which I think works out to, a speeder caught roughly every 8 minutes on average over the course of the month. That's a healthy number of speeders, and we really want to remind people that speeding can be an unhealthy habit. It's certainly unhealthy for your pocketbook if you get caught and you have to pay one of those hefty fines, or it can be unhealthy for you or other road users if that speeding results in a collision.
Now, Tyler, drivers weren't just speeding in Saskatchewan last month. Can you talk us through some of the other numbers?
Yeah, I mean, we saw 739 tickets for distracted driving reported by Saskatchewan law enforcement over the course of July, and that includes 621 drivers using their cell phones. We've talked about this on a number of occasions, Jace, about how the act of distracted driving, being inattentive or distracted while you're behind the wheel, very dangerous. It's the leading cause of collisions in Saskatchewan, actually, and one of the leading causes of injuries and fatalities as well, resulting from those collisions. So it's something that the justice system takes very seriously, with $580 fine for a first offense and 4 demerits, and escalating penalties for repeat offenses as well. So we had seen in June a very high number, much higher number of distracted driving offenses. So it's down from June, but that's 739 tickets for distracted driving. Given how much we talk about this, given how much attention is paid to the dangers of distracted driving, it's still higher than we'd like to see. And it's also a good reminder that enforcement of distracted driving remains very strong by Saskatchewan law enforcement, because they also know how dangerous it is.
And there's still a little bit of summer left. We have the Labor Day long weekend right around the corner, and that's a time when drivers may be seeing more law enforcement officers out on the roads.
That's an excellent point. And, you know, while traffic enforcement is strong year round, every day of the week, and these numbers kind of reflect that, law enforcement do understand that roads are a little bit busier during the long weekends, and they do pay attention to drivers who aren't paying attention to the active driving or to how fast they're going. Those are the kind of things that police will be looking out for.
And of course, with summer coming to a close, that means we're getting into that back to school season, and school zones and crosswalks are going to be seeing a lot more activity. And that's something for drivers to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, school is fast approaching. I mean, in our household, we've already done the back to school shopping, so it's starting to feel very real, and it will feel especially real, following the Labor Day weekend when kids are back in school in pretty much everywhere in Saskatchewan. Those school zones are going to be busy places. Now, school zones vary from municipality to municipality in terms of the times of enforcement and even the speed limits, but they do generally have reduced speed limits. They do have increased fines for breaking those speed limits as well. For example, 20 kilometers per hour over the limit in a school zone in Saskatchewan will cost you $310 ticket, and of course the cost of those tickets escalates as you accelerate, we like to say. So really good idea to pay attention to your speed, pay attention to the road, so remaining undistracted as you are heading into the school zones. They're going to be busy places. Kids are going to be excited. They might not always do what they're supposed to, cross at crosswalks, or they might dart out from between parked cars, that sort of thing. That's why it's so important to slow down, so important to watch out for those kids and keep them safe. And when it comes to school zones, a couple of other tips to bear in mind: not clogging up those school zones, being aware of where the no parking zones generally in front of the school zones are, so you're not reducing the visibility for pedestrians that are crossing, paying attention to crossing guards or traffic signals that tell motorists what to do, watching out for jaywalkers, of course, being aware of loading and unloading zones for school buses, because school kids are very safe when they're on school buses, but when they're off the school buses, that's when the risk from other motorists comes. So those are some of the things that you definitely want to keep in mind. Don't pull U-turns in school zones. Many municipalities have bylaws against it, but even if yours doesn't, it's not a practice that we recommend, because it can reduce the visibility.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
And taking another final look at your 7-day forecast, we will be having a beautiful day tomorrow, 27 for the daytime high, with a mixture of some sun and clouds. So be prepared to have a great day, get some outdoor activities going on there. We will cool down Thursday and Friday, and possibly get some precipitation on Thursday. Hopefully we will be getting that. I think it's a nice balance to get a little bit more moisture with these scorchers, and then we'll be warming it right back up in time for the long weekend on Saturday and Sunday, and we'll start to cool down as we head into next week.
Exciting to see that forecast heading into long weekend, Shelby.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Just in time to finish off the summer.
Yeah, we need this last little hurrah. But before we go tonight, a man was arrested in Ottawa for throwing paint on a work at the National Gallery in an attempt to demand more action on Canada's wildfire crisis.
I'm trying to make a statement that our elected leaders are doing nothing to fight Canada's unprecedented wildfires.
Now, the washable paint was splashed on the surface of Tom Thompson's famous landscape painting, Northern River. Now, the man arrested for the incident was a member of On to Ottawa, a campaign calling for the creation of a national firefighting agency. The group is asking the government to employ and train 50,000 firefighters to help battle unprecedented wildfires. Further disruptions in the capital are expected to continue for another week and a half.
That is absolutely wild, to throw paint like that on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can understand it, but what are you accomplishing with that kind of stuff?
That's what I was kind of thinking. I feel like some people have certain creative ideas in that way to just kind of want to push it out there and get people's attention, but I never know how they come up with it.
Yeah, and I'm glad that it's not like it's washable paint, so
Washable
it's not going to
paint.
be causing permanent damage.
That was very important to add into that story too,
Yeah.
because like when you think about stuff like that, you're wondering, wow, that painting is completely ruined. But no, I guess you did pick the right paint.
Yeah, I think if you're going to protest against the people who are actually going to do something about it, because what does this art gallery have to do with
That's what I'm
the
thinking
forest
too.
fires? That's my little confusion
it's interesting. I can understand what they're trying to fight for,
Yeah.
but not in the best ways.
Do it
I'd
in
say.
the right environment, I think so,
Exactly,
for sure.
exactly.
Well, that's all the time we have for Primetime Local News. Have a good night, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow. We'll see you then.